that. Okay, get rid of that. All right. So let's put that tweet out there, and then I gotta change the title on YouTube. Let's see. I'm gonna write that. Cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. See nice steady gains. Merlin token coin goes full hack scam, shuts down. Let's see. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies continue to do well. FUD is fading. Markets seem to be accepting inflation, so damage not as bad yet. Merlin token goes full scam and does exit rug pull. People lose millions. I lost about 600 or 700 at most, so I am very lucky. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's why. Alright, so this is pretty funny. Now, at least they're letting people withdraw their coins from the site. So, I don't understand what's up with the people that are still staking here, but I assume they just haven't heard of the news yet. And there's this one guy that's still trying to farm Merlin with this crazy high APR, which if for some reason this thing actually pays out, would actually be worth the risk, because I think he gets back all his money. But the problem is they're probably going to take down this site in a short while, so it's down to 11 cents. It's pretty interesting too, because I was planning to put in like 10K as a test, maybe 15K. In a Merlin coin today. So I'm actually extremely effing lucky. Like, Jesus was definitely looking out for like some of us too. So yeah, it's it's a pretty shitty thing. It's kind of annoying because I already did the DeFi video like what, 1 week ago or something like that. So I was talking about Merlin Labs, and then this happens. Right. I mean, I updated that video in the description to say that Merlin coin is now a scam. So initially, I thought that maybe what was happening was these assholes, because they've been exploited and hacked like 3 times now. And they were forked off of Pancake Bunny, but even Pancake Bunny eventually fixed the problem. So they've only been hacked like 1 time. These guys have been hacked 3 times. And the reason why I think this was on purpose was they basically wanted to do an exit scam, but they can't just do an exit scam. So they, manufactured these hacking crises, right? Because they said they were planning to add a vault, and then they put it on the main net instead of a test net, and then that's how the exploiter got into Merlin. But the problem is when someone actually posted the hacker's address, or what looked like the hacker's address, and it actually shows that the hacker already had the Binance coin, specifically 0.1 Binance coin, already placed 45 days ago. So it definitely seems pretty pre-planned. So I think what basically happened was the Merlin guys, who are all anonymous, of course, wanted to do the exit scam, picked today to do it, but they wanted to make it look like it was just a hack and they failed. So that's what this is right now. And then for whatever reason, they're letting people still withdraw their money from here. I also don't understand where this $15 million... Oh yeah, so it's actually the auto cake. So I'm actually curious, if you're staking here, and then the site goes down, how do you pull your cake out of here? Because technically you have control of your tokens, but they say you can withdraw it at any time, so I don't know. But either way, I pulled out all my money like this morning because I was thinking about this hack, and the story just doesn't make sense. It reminds me a lot like my ex-developer who would, work on 404 coin and JMC coin, 2x2 coin, and Infinite Ricks. But the problem is, I've always noticed that my projects would always suffer the same problems, right? Hacks and weird shit. Yet Compound Coin, the source code that we forked from, never had any problems. So I definitely thought, okay, why are we being targeted but not Compound Coin? Because it's got the same vulnerability. And I even covered it saying, I'll read the chat in a second. I even covered it saying, yeah, we forked from Compound Coin. So what am I thinking? I eventually figured out, you know what? I must be being targeted for being me. So and then of course my developer is technically anonymous. How do I even know he's from Germany? So I basically just decided, you know what? He can't be trusted, so I cut him off. Because he would always keep asking me for money, and then I also was like, okay, why do we keep getting these weird fucking hacking attacks? Like, it's so bizarre, right? And then, I just kicked them out, right? And then here we are. And surprisingly, I don't have any problems managing my coins anymore, right? JMC coin, 404 coin, etc. So, and then I actually find out today in my Discord because someone comes in and says, hey, can you fix 2x2 coin? Because he thinks I'm the dev. And I'm like, I'm not the dev. And I told him it was actually being run by my ex-developer who's basically a scammer. So I guess things are not working out. Merlin scam, LOL, thank God I didn't do the liquidity pool. Yeah, I mean, I decided to take the loss on the liquidity pool just so I could put it into Beefy Finance. I guess now we can open up this place. And then when the hack news, because when I woke up and looked at the hacking news thing, Merlin coin was at like $8.50 or 60 cents. And I kept running through the story, looking at the Discord, the Twitter, and I'm like thinking, there's something not right about this. And I immediately thought back to, Mitch, right? Mitch and Kicks, my old developer. I thought, you know what? I think this was on purpose. This isn't a hack. This is a fake hack, basically a false flag to basically do an exit scam, but to blame it on a hack. So I was like, you know what? Just pull my money out. So I put all my auto cake into Pancake Swap here, and then I took like 25% of it, which is a big chunk, and I'm now putting it into Wings, which is Jet Swap, because basically they're an actual fork code from Pancake Swap, and they don't seem to have any problems. I tried looking up hacks and exploits and whatever, and nothing comes up for Jet Swap. So, I'm willing to gamble there because, let's see. There's a new one called Gold, but I'm not going to touch that because I think I learned my lesson. Just stick with the stuff that's been around a while for as long as possible. Yeah, it's this one, Wings. And then, check to see if they got hacked. Because one time, okay. Twice, that's a red flag. And then, well, the third time is already, like, too late. So, probably after the second hack, I mean, that's about it. Well, that being said, there's another coin called Pancake Bunny, which is supposedly what Merlin token was a copy of. They got hacked the same way, so yeah. But let's say you don't want to do any of this crazy high-risk stuff, then just stick with... I don't know why this thing's not loading. Then just stick with AutoCake on Pancake Swap. Like that's about as safe gets. So, and then everything's going down a bit because everything's just been going up a little too much. It's like straight up. So let's refresh that. Yeah, so now there's going to be a slight little pullback. Plus, it's a holiday week, so. Well, and they had 3 hacker orders, so none of them would have caught it if it hadn't been planned. Yeah. Well, I mean, that just goes to show that the audits are fucking worthless. Even Beefy Finance got fooled. I got fooled, but I already knew better because I was like, you know what? There's something not right. So I'll probably, but the greed was overriding that. So I was like, you know what? I'll do a little here and a little there and see what happens. I just happened to get lucky though. Like other people literally just lost millions today, right? I only lost like what, $600-700. I don't even know how to calculate. I don't really remember, but at most $700 because it went from whatever it was yesterday, last night, down to 850, and that's when I sold off. So yeah, that's too bad too because a lot of these projects probably are are probably legit, and they actually do pay out these actual crazy APYs. I got my money back, so I'm fine. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So I don't know. So for now, I have a significant amount of money in wings. So that I'm taking a pretty big risk, but I only put in 25% of my total crypto holdings into this. So I still have to think about how I want to play it. It could be just like the old proof of stake days, right, with 404 and 808 coin. All right, just compound, basically withdraw 30% every cycle. So in this case, every day or every week. So the 70% keeps compounding. So, but you're withdrawing 30%. So eventually you get all your money back. And then the rest is literally free money. So I gotta think about it. Also, I think maybe my neighbor is constantly smoking, so the smoke keeps getting in here, but I can't really smell anything in particular. Or maybe the air quality is just shit because it's so hot and stuffy out there that it's just like negatively affecting everything in the apartment. So, but yeah, but even if Wings does become a scam, and let's say worst case scenario I lose all my money, yeah, I'll be pretty effing angry, but I'll still have my auto kick. So I also sold all my Bank of America and ExxonMobil options. I also sold my CL Guff. I'm never gonna touch fucking stocks again. I'm only gonna trade Riot and like Bitcoin based stuff. Everything else is just a fucking scam. So I took some good losses on that, like a couple grand, and I had enough money to buy one Riot call. Funny enough, it was the $65 strike for Riot. So, I wound up dollar cost averaging, ironically enough. But, once Bitcoin hits 64K, right, I can cash out for profit, but I'm going to hold it. I'm basically going to just hold it till the end of July or the week before the second to last week of August. Get on stock. Yeah, stocks are fucking gay. I'll use my G word for one day. They're like the dumbest thing you can buy. Like I've literally tried just about everything. It's like I'm just not gonna play with shit stocks. It's all risk and shit reward. Like at least with DeFi, I'm getting paid a very high APY to take that risk. So I'm not touching stocks except Riot. If the market crashes, I'll probably buy some stocks. Maybe. Because I still like playing the options in the stock market. So that actually is still pretty good, assuming you can get 2-year options on it. So I got up to 105 miles per hour during my pod car. You gotta be really careful. Like you might either kill someone or get yourself killed or both. And that's not going to be good. That's pretty fast. I got my money back. Oh, I read that already. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. Like I'm just so sick and tired of these because like it's so annoying to see the markets go up and my stock positions go down. Like what kind of retarded, manipulated F-word shit is this? It was on a highway with no traffic. How is it a highway with no traffic? That just seems insane to me. But then again, there's a lot less people in England, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, like if you ever drive around in like Germany, like that place is like insane. Like it's literally all flat land, so people like there's no speed limit in Germany too apparently. So you can go like crazy, and then like because there's no speed, you can go as fast as you want because it's literally just flat lands and it's all clear. Yeah, and then banks or whatever. All right, let's take a look here. Okay. Alright, and I'm filing more trademarks, so at least that's finally moving along. This should be the new video, I think. 13 minutes ago, yeah. Oh, wow, he was actually quite well on time. That's because I had a lot of ramble to go through. Alright, well, we're off to watch Greg, so whatever, markets, I don't care. Bonds, let me see. They got bought up a little bit today, that's fine. The dollar was like up a little and then up whatever this amount is, so it's like okay. But basically the Federal Reserve is trying to like manipulate the numbers. I also decided to do this little poll, and it doesn't really have a lot of traction. So this actually means that nobody gives a shit about Merlin Labs, which I find kind of interesting because they seem to be all over the place on the internet. So yeah, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how JetSwap, because this uses JetSwap, and they apparently run two websites, and they have two tokens, Jet Fuel, and then a derivative called Wings. So I'm gonna try this because, you know, if I could get into like the pancake swap of back then when the APY was both big and safe, you know, I'm kind of hoping that Wings is the next one. So, you know, I'm willing to gamble 25% and see how that goes. I also need to start pulling out money too. So Chipmunk gets so jealous when his favorite girl talks to other chipmunks. Actually,
Charlie?
Oh, that's a chipmunk? I thought that was a squirrel.
And see this little thing just going back and forth.
Charlie.
It took me about a week and a half for me to actually approach him. He was very hesitant at first.
Makes sense.
I would use this cute voice with him, Charlie, like, come here. I would just keep on trying and trying and trying, and all of a sudden it became really natural. It's really cool.
Charlie jump?
The weirdest thing I've noticed is the beauty mark. Mine is on the left side, his is on the right. That is super weird. I've never seen a chipmunk with a beauty mark. And now he has a new friend. I call him Buddy. He got comfortable just because Charlie was there.
Charlie.
Charlie
Those
is
are
actually really jealous.
Charlie just got mad at me for feeding another chipmunk.
Chipmunks are very territorial, so they don't want to be in the same spot.
What the hell?
You mad at me?
He was sitting looking at me like he was about to cry. That's so weird to see from a chipmunk. He would not take it. It's just like, I can't believe you did that to me, you know?
High five. Freeze.
It's crazy how much he understands.
Freeze.
I don't know if he specifically understands all the words I'm saying.
Go.
He has that peanut.
I'm just fascinated by this chipmunk video.
Holding.
Don't worry, we'll watch it.
Charlie,
we'll watch
freeze.
the Greg stuff in a second.
And then I would show him another peanut, and then he would freeze because now he's thinking of how he can put those two peanuts in his mouth together. He's like, maybe I should put this on the left, maybe I should put this on the right. He would sometimes sit next to me, just enjoy the nature, enjoy my company. He would not even take peanuts.
I don't want to say how much I'm getting per day, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do I am getting 3 figures a day. It's unrealized though. That's the key word, unrealized, until I pull it out as cash. But because I was doing trademark stuff today, I had to make sure the statement of use and everything, and then I was doing coding, and then of course the Merlin lab shit. So like my mental faculties are kind of pulled all over the place. But after this stream, I'm going to think about what I'm going to be doing.
It's moments like those that are so touching to me.
What you can do. Make us smile. Good boy.
Wow, chipmunks are actually pretty smart. Also, they look like smaller versions of squirrels. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and by the way, this is actually 1800%. We're note that 1.78K. Or you just look at the daily thing here. But of course, if you're really crazy, you could go with this Alpha coin or this Gold coin. Me personally, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm like, after the Merlin shit, I think I'd rather go with something that I like they haven't been hacked yet, so. I'm just curious. This is on Pancake Swap. So let's say I buy this token. Okay, view on BSC scan. Token tracker. 7.3 million Alpha coins. Does have a lot of transactions here. Has a price of 14 cents. Has a market cap of 1 million. So this looks like a what was that? What was that? Hey, Bosif, what was that CryptoKitties website? It used to run on Ethereum. This looks like a kind of copycat of that. Yeah, this is a copycat of CryptoKitties. I think that's what it was called. That's on Binance. So that actually does look pretty legit, actually. Wow. Funny enough, this is probably. I'm actually thinking this might be more legitimate than Wings, and it pays more APY. But that's actually the. This is actually the liquidity pool, which is a pain in the ass. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because if the underlying Alpha or Wings coin goes belly up and rug pull, then I mean you're gonna lose your fucking ass anyway. Where is Alpha? There should be an Alpha only thing here. Single assets. That's not it. At least I don't think it's this one. Let's see, all. Oh wow, so the only way you can actually get this is actually through the liquidity pool. Huh. Well, at least if Alpha goes to 0, you'll still have half of your Binance coin. But man, that is insane. 3.08, 3080% APY. Like, it's actually just very new. Ugh, this is gonna be so much. Yeah, I'm back in Pancake Swap right now. Yeah, that's actually the, I think Bosif is saying shocked sarcastically. Lucky you didn't get into the 1000 APY keck. Yeah. I mean, Merlin Lab was just, yeah, that was just bad. But I mean, there's actual indicators too. I mean, not to say that there won't be like any, like, I mean, at any point, any of these so-called legit projects can also do a rug pull too. That includes Pancake Swap. But, I don't know. Well, we'll just have to see. Bank of America warns transitory hyperinflation. Oh boy.
Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Manarino, and here we go again. It is Tuesday, June 29th, 2021. How about this? Two new all-time record highs for this market today. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. It's unbelievable in the face of yet again several rounds of bad economic news. I explained to you all on Sunday we were going to get more bad economic news this week. Well, we got a whole bunch of it, and it was enough to push this market higher. Let's look at what's happening around us here. The inflation scare, and we have a lot to talk about with regard to that. The market just doesn't care anymore. It's all just, a non-event. Again, why? Because Fed Chair Powell said he doesn't care about inflation right now. He's more concerned about people getting vaccinated. The market took that as a green light, that the Fed, forget about it, will not be doing anything with regard to lifting off, tapering, whatever. It ain't happening. And you all knew that because I told you right off the bat. and the market's now absorbing it. Okay, so it just doesn't matter. Now, with that in mind, I want you to hear this. This is an incredible thing. So, Bank of America is warning. Are you ready? Sit down for this one. Sit down. You might have to do that. Is warning of transitory hyperinflation. Transitory hyperinflation. So, again, it goes back to, well, transitory. Let's quantify that. A year, 5 years, 10 years, because we got a lot more. And speaking of inflation here, transitory hyperinflation, this is what we found out today with regard to economic news. Home prices are rising at their fastest pace on record as inflation overall rises at its fastest pace ever. Okay, but the market don't care about that anymore. New record high. Rents are skyrocketing. In June, hit their highest price on record. Just lovely. The Fed's balance sheet today just crossed $8.1 trillion. The total U.S. national debt, dollar for dollar, not counting derivatives, 28.5 trillion, and the U.S. debt to GDP ratio is just over 127%. So again, as a percentage of GDP, our economy is cratering. It's cratering. There's no recovery whatsoever. Our economy is in free fall. The only thing that's doing great is the stock market. I don't understand how anyone could consider the fact that we are borrowing money into existence via the Federal Reserve at a pace that is absolutely staggering, watching our debt to GDP ratio hyper balloon, but we're doing great. You can't make this stuff up, people. You can't do it. It's completely impossible. Now, here's another piece of economic news that you might like here. So gasoline prices here in the United States just hit a 7-year high, and that is going to continue as well. Look, inflation is everywhere. Well, according to Bank of America, it's transitory hyperinflation. I love that. How about you? I want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole narrative of this being transitory? What do they expect? I mean, honestly, what do we know has happened since the meltdown of 2008? Well, we have had debt balloon at a pace we have never seen before. Again, this is an illusion where we are. It's all inflating on a massive scale. So if the Federal Reserve is printing or creating all of these bills, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars out of thin air, funneling them around the world to central banks around the world that are buying assets with dollars, what do they expect? Do they expect that this is really just going to miraculously disappear? And I'll tell you the insane part of this, the real insane part of it, we still have money velocity, or the rate at which cash is moving through our free fall economy, near historic lows. Could you imagine what this is going to be like once cash actually starts to move? And when it does, it's going to start in the debt market, like I've explained to you. All of this, everything we're seeing right now, is being built on the back of a debt market hyperbubble. The transitory hyperinflation, according to Bank of America, housing prices. Look at the correlation here. So we just found out, like I said, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet just crossed $8.1 trillion. The U.S. national debt, $28.5 trillion. Do you notice a correlation between rising housing prices, the stock market, inflation, with regard to what we're seeing here, and as well as our debt to GDP ratio? Do you see the correlation here? You really should, because as long as this mechanism goes on, again, the Fed's balance sheet hyperinflating, debt hyperinflating, debt to GDP ratio going out of control, as long as these mechanisms continue, well, what would you expect the stock market's going to do? Go lower? No, it's not going to go lower. It's going to continue to go higher and be more and more twisted and more distorted from reality. And that's what I think, honestly, a lot of people are missing out here. Again, going back to those people out here calling market tops several weeks ago. I brought this up. There was a guy out on Greg Hunter's show. Oh, wait, we hit a top and we've hit record high since that point. Ignore these people. Okay, they have no clue at all of what they are talking about when it comes to the market or the economy. Okay, they're dangerous. When Greg brings a guy like that out on his show, realize that you're listening to someone who has no idea at all of what they are talking about. They don't understand the dynamics. Anybody that is calling for an imminent market crash or anybody trying to pick market tops is an imbecile. Anybody trying to pick market bottoms is an imbecile. You can't do these things, okay? Tops and bottoms, good. You think you're good enough to do that? No, you're not. Nobody is, okay? We trade trends. Now let's move forward here. So we understand the market here today hit new record highs with regards to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Gold and silver today fell under pressure. 10-year yield stable. Dollar put on a gain, which despite the fact that we hit new record highs in the market, that stronger dollar muted gains. Okay, the market was up much higher earlier today. That dollar is weighing on the market. Why do you think, for example, President Trump was talking about how he wants a weaker dollar? All he was really saying is he wants the stock market higher. A weaker dollar in no way, shape, or form helps the average person trying to get by. But you're not supposed to know that either. And again, crude oil did catch a bid today. So people, let's just summarize what's going on around us. We have, we are right now in, I guess, the early stages of a transitory hyperinflationary event, according to Bank of America. And again, transitory. They imagine it's just going to disappear, all of a sudden just go away. So all these extra bills that are now starting to chase the same amount of goods, they're just going to stop doing that. You understand, look, once that floodgate is opened, and it is open now, and those extra bills start chasing the same amount of goods, despite the fact that money velocity is at historic lows, near historic lows, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Even if the Federal Reserve were to start raising rates aggressively, it won't stop it. But you're not supposed to know that either. See these things I'm telling you? You're not supposed to know these things. You won't hear this from any mainstream channel out there. And the market, frankly, doesn't give a damn at all. The market realizes that any kind of a rate hike or a taper is years and years away. And the bad economic news like we got today, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Home prices rising at the fastest pace on record. Inflation spiking at its fastest pace ever. Rents are skyrocketing. The Federal Reserve's balance sheet is hyper-ballooning. Home prices rising at the fastest pace on record. Inflation spiking at its fastest pace ever. Rents are skyrocketing. The Federal Reserve's balance sheet is hyper-ballooning. Debt, national debt out of control, debt to GDP ratio, proving that our economy is contracting. We're cratering. And all of this is enough to push the stock market higher. Let me ask you, do you think it would be possible for you to make this stuff up? If you actually tried, if you sat down and just tried to make this stuff up, could you do it? I don't think so. I don't think anybody could. All right, people, look, very important video. I covered a lot here. A major day with regard to news. All bad. It couldn't be worse, but it's enough to push the stock market higher. So the phenomenon here is going to continue. The worse the economic news gets, and even the higher the inflation gets at this point, the market's going up with it. As long as the Federal Reserve's balance sheet continues to balloon, debt continues to balloon, and there's no end in sight there. And a debt to GDP ratio, you haven't seen anything yet. You think 127% is bad? We're going to be at 150 to 200 very soon. And the market's going to just love it. All right, I'm out here. Love you a lot. Please share the video. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, we still haven't seen the hyperinflation affect these stocks or cryptos yet, but I don't know. This could actually be the start because I did say that this week and July would be very strong, though this week would be tapered by the fact that it's going to be July 4th holiday weekend. But July was probably really powerful. Just going to be very hard to ignore. And now that the inflation stuff does seem to finally stop being annoying, yeah, it could be going pretty well. And of course, if banks are buying back their shares, like like this article's saying, that's also going to be another pretty stock market positive because they're like, well, if things were going to go down, why are banks buying back their stocks? Wouldn't they buy puts or wait until it crashes to buy back, right? So that's basically it. And of course, if everyone's going to be saying, yeah, inflation's going to be here, whatever, well, I mean, money has to go into the markets. Money has to go into crypto. So yeah, Bitcoin to $1 million to $3 million. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Like the possibility of that goes up with every day. House Democrats propose a government-run credit reporting system. Oh, good. So now they're implementing a credit social system, just like in China. Of course. Well, I'm curious to see what the commenters say. Yeah, and just like Andre Wang says on the Daily Wire to SU, the only problem that we actually do have really is the tribe, and having to deal with it. Great, now Yahoo Finance is like lagging and shit. I'm not dropping frames. Okay, there we go. Alright, oh, look at that, they disabled the comments. Disable the comments. Yeah, like this is actually very dangerous. Alright, I'm gonna actually tweet this out. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Beefy Finance. Shit's lagging like crazy. House Democrats want to implement a government-run credit system. How is this different from China's social credit system? This is just more infrastructure to punish you for wrongthink. If I really were in charge, I would make the religion of tribalism illegal and criminal, and I would probably make most parts of liberalism also criminal. Like this is what happens. The shit like this is exactly what happens when you just let this shit run amok. All right, I don't even think you can rely on free speech to police all this shit. Unless, of course, maybe you could try to make it so that corporations and business must adhere to free speech as well. So, I just don't see how freedom is just gonna be able to work here. Question, and you don't have to say you lived in. I don't actually know what that is. How bad was it? I mean, I've lived in New York City my whole life. I've never been to. I was born here, so I've never been to anywhere else. The furthest I've ever. Oh, China. I've never been to China. I was born here. I don't know why you thought I was from China. I was born in New York City. I'm a naturally born American citizen. And yeah, I mean, my parents are illegal. So, I mean, I have a Supreme Court from 1896 or whatever that specifically it says, children born in America to legal immigrants are totally U.S. citizens, natural-born U.S. citizens. The old stock were too friendly and let the tribe take over. Yeah, I do think the boomers are definitely a big blame to it. But here's the thing. I've said this before when I used to do political videos, but I'll try to somewhat rephrase it here. If things truly were that good and Christian and fundamentally like sound, why does anyone listen to the tribe? Like, if you're in the 1950s and 1960s, right? That I think is actually very much worthy of a discussion, right? Why were people willing to listen to them in the first place? I think that actually is really important, right? Why were blacks so susceptible to, like, hearing how everybody hated the black people, right? Yeah, probably because there was actually something fundamentally wrong with America during the 50s and 60s. I mean, it's that simple, right? Today is actually reflective of that too, right? Democrats and liberals have been complaining about cops for a long time. Now you're actually seeing conservatives realizing, yeah, cops really are a problem, right? And the liberals kind of just figured, well, now we have control of the cops, so we'll just use it to punish conservatives, right? But the problem is, cops should not be used as a battering ram against anyone. So it's stuff like that people need to really look into. Alternatively, you could just simply make the tribals just completely illegal against the law, and then that would also probably solve most of our problems too. But suppressing ideas is generally pretty difficult to do. So, and most of America is not full of Chinese people, so I kind of really doubt that such a tactic would work. Because obviously non-Chinese people are generally not too enthusiastic about living under like a very hardcore authoritarian government. Maybe English people might be okay with that because they're used to living under like kings and queens, and basically what they say is the word of God, right? But even then, monarchies eventually fell too, because all it takes is like one or two monarchies in a row that are really shitty kings and queens, and then you get the French Revolution, right? Or I guess the American Revolution if they happen to be Christian. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And it doesn't help that Trump is just a complete liability at this point too. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep working on my game. Hopefully, I don't get screwed with wings. All right, just keep making money, and then I'll just figure out the rest of the shit, later. But the good news is, now that Mexico is pushing back, I actually watched the Big Cryptos R Us video that he made today. Mexico's central bank actually said we are banning crypto in direct response to the Mexican billionaire guy saying everyone should buy Bitcoin. So Mexican central bank specifically said all banks are not allowed to do crypto. Yeah, exactly. When you have this crazy amount of inflation that the Federal Reserve is pumping out, everyone's going to have to go into cryptocurrencies, right? You just don't have a choice. you know. So, I mean, what are the governments going to do? Just say you have to be in the dollar that's obviously just dying to hyperinflation? Like, people are actually going to legit get angry, right? It's easy to talk all this shit about virtue signaling, or like, whatever, but then if you can't pay your rent, if you can't buy food because inflation's out of control, you're going to start actually going, okay, what the hell? And if you still actually keep pushing, like, in this case, the shit-lib narrative, other people are just going to get mad at you and probably kick your ass. And rightfully so. Right? So, hello everyone. Hey, Zulshazat. Well, unfortunately, you came in right at the end of the stream, so you'll have to just watch the playback on this. But, yeah. Well, at least the Merlin Labs thing is a pretty important lesson, because going back to that, DeFi is like what ICO scams were back in 2017. The only difference was I just stayed away from all ICOs. This time around, I'm actually participating in DeFi, but obviously that's a pretty big risk. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. The biggest problem will be if PancakeSwap does a rug pull. Like, that would just be completely devastating. Especially since I gave up being in VeChain and Filecoin and all this other stuff. So that means that my only last hope would actually be my Shiba coin, which is just hilarious. And Shiba coin is actually coming out with Shiba Swap, so pretty soon you're going to be able to earn a lot of good interest off the Shiba coin. And they're running off of the Ethereum blockchain, so I'm just going to leave my shit in Hotbit, but at least the APY on that's going to look pretty solid. Alright, let's see if Nick's tweeted anything new. Sure. So he's having dinner somewhere. Imagine being more tolerant of drug dealers. I can't read that on stream. Can't read that. Colonel Justice Reform for actual murders than you are of Nick. I'm thinking you've lost your way. Well, this asshole unfollowed me too, just like Gavin Wax, so I'm not going to retweet him. Paul Gosar has come under attack from Fox News. Oh, really? Fox News is after Gosar. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. I mean, they're all under control of the tribe anyway. And shitlib activists after a planned fundraiser with popular American First commentator Nick Fuentes. Well, I know Mike Cernovich wouldn't be dumb enough to attack Nick Fuentes, but I'm kind of curious to see if Jack Posobiec would be dumb enough. Now, he's actually pretty smart. He's probably not going to say shit about this. This actually attacks Fox News, so I'm going to retweet that. I've done nothing wrong. I'm a real American patriot. The people I me are evil and hate our country. I'll never bow to them and apologize. Yep. If I was being attacked by the FBI, the mainstream media, and the political alternative, then I wouldn't be doing my job. Yeah. Fox News is probably a little over mainstream media. I kind of want to actually retweet that. Yeah, because it's Fox News, so my plausible deniability thing in the future when shitlibs attack me, which they'll do it anyway, is I'll just say, oh yeah, I don't care about the shitlibs and Democrats as much. I care about Fox News and, exposing them for being a piece of shit. That makes it a lot harder for liberals to attack me, because at that point they have to take the side of Fox News, which they also hate. So that cognitive dissonance will, actually would protect me quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to retweet him. Yeah, I don't know why this fucking asshole unfollowed me. I mean, he's got, whatever, so fuck him. Lauren Chen, Analyst-Based Connor joins me to discuss the Arizona audit, blah, 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 and Nick Fuentes. Okay, very good. Well, at least we haven't canceled Lauren Chen yet. So, alright, very good, very good. Alright, so things are moving along. So Nick's moving along politically on his end. Hopefully I will be moving along on my end with the video game stuff. And yeah, he's gained 200 followers. I think I've lost... What am I down to? Because I've been losing followers. Yeah, I'm down to 059. So they've stopped the censorship, so it's actually just people unfollowing me. But that's because I got a lot of fucking weirdos following me, so... Gavin Wax is a TP USA ambassador. Well, that doesn't matter because he's following and retweeting Nick Fuentes. So that's even more risk to Gavin Wax. So Gavin's just being a fucking asshole, so fuck him. Unless, of course, he decides to whatever. MDD OCD. Hey, man, I need money from crypto. Oh. Yeah, actually, you're new here, so welcome. Well, I mean, there's a lot of material to go through, so I would probably just start with my... Can I actually type in here? I would start with watching some of these, watching my, why is there an X over there? Internal error. What? I don't know, did you guys see that YouTube link I just posted in the chat? It's a link to YouTube. There should be no reason. Doesn't she work for the Blades? I think she used to. I'm not really sure. Oh, wow. So for some reason, I can't type... I cannot type... Oh, you know what? Maybe because I have to log in or something, but... Great. Go on my Twitter, Royper, and just click the YouTube link that's on my profile here. Yeah, JMC Radio. And then just watch some of the Bitcoin Clown World videos there. Also, I should tell you that Groyper is technically a terms of service violation with Trovo. I'm not going to say anything, but eventually they're probably going to make you change your username. So just letting you know ahead of time. She is now independent. Yeah, I know she used to work for the Blaze. And then I thought maybe Rebel Media, like Lauren Southern. And then now she's just indie. Lauren Chen is coloring outside the lines a bit. I don't know what you mean by that. Not gonna lie, I missed the Insurrection Now Act tweet level of engagement. Oh yeah, when I used to say that? Yeah, and I was right. I was 100% right. Trump was considering the Insurrection Act. And then because fucking 98% of the fucking right wing are a bunch of frauds, right? Your Jack Posobics, your Mike Cernoviches. We were never able to get the word out to make Trump actually sign that shit, right? So, I mean, that's just what happens. If I had the actual fucking support, we totally would have been able to push it because the people supported it. You saw the engagement of that, right? I don't have to tell you about it. Like, that was literally my most well-engaged campaign on my Twitter ever. It's actually probably the primary reason why my followers tripled in size before Twitter decided to ban a third of them. He's in Las Vegas. I saw America First last night. Oh, wow. How the hell did Nick drive all the way there so fast? Maybe he was speeding on the highway. She has been on the Data Wars a couple of times. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Alex Jones has everybody on there. I don't think InfoWars is censored. I don't think I censored that keyword. But maybe just to be safe, maybe self-censor. We don't want to piss off Trovo. Does she work for the... no. Oh, wait, I already read all that. So, yeah. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I already went through it, Groiper, so you'll have to just watch the replay. I don't want to go through it again. So, but real short, Pancake Swap is the auto cake. I don't want to go through the technicals. You have to just kind of just wing it. This gives you 106.66%. I think this is the safest play. That's what I'm doing. 25% of my money is in wings, right? 1,780% APR, but this is a lot riskier. So, it depends if you want to really do that. And then, of course, I got out of the Merlin scam this morning, so I technically lost $600. But people lost millions today off of that scam. So I got very lucky. Like, Jesus Christ definitely was watching out for my dumb ass. So, again, I just got lucky. I may not get lucky with wings. I mean, Pancake Swap might even go scam too. Like, I could lose all my money in this shit too. So, if you really want safe, just stick with these coins on the front. Dogcoin, Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum even. Like, VeChain would be good. Shiba Coin I think will be pretty good too. However, they could do a rug pull too, like a Merlin-like scam. So, but VeChain and Filecoin are legit. Can't go wrong with that. So it just depends on your risk tolerance and how greedy you want to play. I'm playing very greedy, right? Like in StarCraft. That's why I suck at StarCraft, because I always play greedy. Luckily in real life it tends to be easier, but I've been doing this for like 11 years in crypto, 10 years. I can't even count anymore. And I've been doing trading and investing for like decades, like 20 plus years. And I'm now officially just swearing off the stock market. I'm just going to do Riot Blockchain because that's Bitcoin based. Everything in the stock market is just total scam. All risk, very little reward. It's actually safer to play DeFi than it is to play the stupid stock market. That's just how stupid this whole thing is. So anyway, I'm going to go. Looks like we're going to get the social credit system in America with the Democrats right here, pushing that forward. So yeah, it's going to be, why rising gas prices are a hidden risk for President Biden. So believe it or not, I actually do not want Biden to get kicked out because that means Kamala Harris becomes president. And then it's actual hell, right? You think Biden is bad, okay, but Kamala would be like 100 times worse, right? Especially for white people. So I don't even want to try to game theory out what that's going to look like. I just know it's going to be like bad. StarCraft is a special place in my heart. Terrans was always my favorite. I could never play Terrans. Like the micromanagement was just too hard. I started out as Zerg, but I found that Protoss was just so much easier. Powerful units. They favor greedy gameplay, and the micromanagement was also the least intensive of all the three races. Let's get the show going. Yeah, but I think Blizzard has given up on developing StarCraft now. So Nancy Pelosi would become. Who is the number 3 in... I'm pretty sure it's Nancy Pelosi. Who is the number 3 in president succession? It should be the House Speaker. Yeah, see, yeah, I was right. Yeah, it's the House Speaker. So Kamala would become president, and then Nancy Pelosi would become vice president. which, believe it or not, is not that bad, I guess. Because Nancy Pelosi actually does not like progressives, but she does eventually bow down to them. So this is there's like there's a whole thing here, but there's I thought it was 20, but there's basically 16 people here, 16, 18, 20 people. Oh, and look at that! They're all happen to be Democrats. What a shock! What an effing shock! So this is the succession of president. So yeah, so say hello to Vice. Oh, that's the other thing too. If Biden gets kicked out, say hello to Mommy Nancy Pelosi as your vice president. Yeah, well, how would you like that, chat? I doubt you would like that very much. So yeah, and on top of that, America would technically be run by women. So is that really what you want? So yeah, Biden has to stay president. All right, Biden would have to stay president. No, regardless of how you feel, because the alternative really is 100 times worse, probably 1,000 times to be honest. They would probably choose a new vice president. It wouldn't go to succession like they did with Ford and Nixon. No, no. The Democrats are in charge. They're going to put Nancy Pelosi as vice president. They could say they could have an election, but I mean, you're obviously around for 2020, so you know that voting doesn't actually matter. But even if they did choose a new vice president, it's just gonna be a shit show anyway. It's just gonna be rigged, so it wouldn't even matter. Acceleration vibes. I mean, I'm like 50-50 on the accelerationism, but I think it would actually just be better for us to just try to let the left, worry about us. And then, because what we really want to do is buy time for cryptocurrencies, and technically Nick Fuentes, right? Because the stronger cryptocurrency gets, the weaker the global system gets. There's a reason why Mexico immediately banned cryptocurrency for all banks in Mexico. There's a reason why the IMF and the European Central Bank president all shitted on El Salvador accepting Bitcoin, right? And Paraguay will be first or second week of July. Will also present a bill to accept Bitcoin, right? And South America is already looking into it. Nigeria's president specifically said in a presidential address, "We want Bitcoin. Everyone needs to get in on it." Right? I know Portugal's pro Bitcoin. I know France is kind of pro Bitcoin. Tanzania is doing the same thing. I can't read that out loud because I'm streaming on YouTube as well, but yeah. But you know what? Paraguay South America is gonna surpass the United States at the rate things are going, right? So, you might have to maybe not burn those bridges because we might have to flee America at some point, sadly. Yeah, exactly. It's global. Well, I used to call it that, but I have to. That's why I invented Globo Peanut or Global Peanut, right? Because I had to come up with a come up with a replacement word for the H word. I mean, that's why I'm so freaking creative, because I spend all my creative energy figuring out how to get around like internet censors. So that requires creativity, obviously, because you have to make up words and shit. And that's what I'm actually doing with my trademarks. I'm making up words, and they sound pretty cool. So, and of course, the more made up and unconventional your word is, the stronger your trademark protection, to the point where you want a Pepsi or Coca-Cola level of protection, where if anybody tries to use it, or Nike brand, I should also, if anyone uses it, you can instantly shut them down. Well, not instantly, but you basically will shut them down. Oh wow, Nick Fuentes is trending on Twitter. Yeah, I'm gonna retweet that. So true. But it should be obvious now to conservatives that Republicans and the GOP are all fake controlled opposition. I hope boomers and normie Republicans and Christians figure this out and wake up. I mean, this is the main problem. Like a lot of Republicans just don't realize just how evil their representatives are. It's like I don't know what you have to fucking. It's like I mean, it really is true what Andre Wang says, right, from the Daily Wire at SU, right? The masses of people really are fucking retarded. But I'm hoping things will change this time. I mean, at the least, we have to try. I can't believe it. Nick Fuentes is actually trending here. Man, I really hope they don't ban him, man. Like, at this point, like, they're going to try to ban this guy. Well, I know they've been trying to ban him, probably, but they're probably going to... Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, even Nick retweeted this just now, I guess. Oh, boy. I mean, this shit... I mean, we got the Nick Fuentes stuff. Eventually, when I have my game out, I think I could probably do some damage, right? Culturally. And then we got the inflation stuff. So, I mean, we've got a full court press. Oh, and of course, we got cryptocurrencies. So the globalists are going to have a really big problem, but I mean they're still pretty strong. So I don't hold any crazy idealistic like everything's going to work out. Like I'm actually pretty both pragmatic and what's the word I'm looking for? I'm expecting bad things to happen essentially, and not good things. Retweeting me. Well, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, this went on longer than whatever, but I do enjoy talking with Chad, because that's really the only thing I actually care about, right? If I didn't have anyone to interact with, I probably wouldn't even bother doing these stupid, like, videos and shit. I do it for the people. If there were no people, then I'd just be like, yeah, I'm doing videos for nothing. It's stupid, right? But luckily, it's not stupid, at least for now, anyway. Alright, so I'm going to go relax. I'm going to think more about what I really want to do with my DeFi stuff. Do I want to keep compounding 100%? Or do I do what I used to do, which is pull out 30% every day? Which technically is the smartest thing to do, because I have to get my money out. But I'm probably going to run the math on that and see what happens. We're assembling all 5 pieces of Exodia, or the Infinity Gauntlet, right? Wait, I thought that was the Infinity Gauntlet. What's Exodia? Is this actually... This looks like a... What? A Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh. This is actually a thing. Right leg of the Forbidden One. Oh, that's hilarious. This is actually a real thing. Huh. Well, I thought you meant the Infinity... I wonder who stole the idea first. Did they steal this from the Infinity Gauntlet, or the Infinity Gauntlet steal it from Yu-Gi-Oh? Or did both of Marvel and Yu-Gi-Oh steal it from someone else? Yeah, the 5 pieces of the Exodia. So let's see. We got culture stuff. That's my video games. That's me with 1 piece. Nick is the political piece. So that's 2. Cryptocurrency is the 3rd piece. Inflation could be the 4th piece, though that might be related to crypto. But really, crypto is an entirely different thing. It just gets helped by the inflation. So yeah, inflation is definitely a big thing. So what would be the 5th piece? What would be the 5th piece? I don't know. Governments? The people? It would have to have something to do with the people or the governments, I think. Specifically, governments like El Salvador and like in the alliance of like governments that want to move away from the tribal system. That could be the 5. That could be your 5 pieces of the Exodia or Infinity Gauntlet. Community. Yeah, I'm thinking something along the lines of the community, but so far I have not seen that just yet. But that doesn't mean it's not forming or it doesn't exist. I just happen to just not know it yet. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's hilarious. Nick Fuentes is actually trending. I really hope they do not ban him, because Twitter is already shit. So the only reason why I need to use it is, Nick is still entertaining. But if he's gone, then like Twitter is gonna be complete ass, man. It's gonna be complete ass. All right. I've rambled on long enough, so I think I'm gonna go. What day is tomorrow? So tomorrow's Wednesday. So Hopefully, crypto will do its little pullback like it's doing now, and then continue going up tomorrow. Because so far, it's showing nothing but strength, and then it's not even going down that much. So that's a very good sign, very powerful sign. And now that FUD's dying and inflation is now making market people think correctly, which is to buy stocks in crypto, we're looking pretty good financially. We're looking pretty good financially. Hump day. I don't know what hump day is. But if it's what I think it is, that does sound pretty degenerate, so I'm going to take a pass. I mean, I know we got gay pride parades happening all across New York City, but I don't see them here, so. Well, I also happen to live in a very, I guess you could say, somewhat conservative part of Brooklyn, surprisingly. So I don't know how long that'll last. But on the other hand, it's also got a pretty sizable tribal community, so they definitely make sure to keep like dangerous minorities out of the neighborhood. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. But there's a reason for it, I guess. Wednesday is, yeah, I don't want to keep saying that word, so okay. All right, well, I'll be back tomorrow after the markets. We'll pick up where we left off today, and then hopefully I'll be happy to report that we're just making more money. Nothing to do with the alphabet, folks. I don't know what alphabet, folks mean. All right, so anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new here, just watch the replay to get the latest on this stuff. 'Cause I don't want to repeat myself again because I already did that. APY has gone down by 10% or so. So I'm going to take a look at what's happening with Wings. Now I'm just paranoid that Wings is going to become the next Merlin coin scam. Oh boy. All right.